Hello everybody, I am so sorry for my technical glitch there. I've realised that a MacBook does not work, so I am balancing my phone because I was not prepared for this, so bear with me. So I am Suzie Lee. Hi guys, Suzie, can people have now logged on? I am so sorry, technical glitches, I'm at home, it's all a bit crazy, but I didn't realise that a MacBook doesn't work, so had to go on my phone there, so apologies. I'm going to be balancing bits and pieces so you can see, because I had my laptop angled perfectly, but we will do this and it'll be perfect, okay? So today I am making a beef, broccoli and oyster sauce. Super easy, and you can make it into loads of different varieties of whether it's chicken or just pure veg. It's a really adaptable recipe. So hopefully you've got the recipe in front of you and you've got your ingredients prepared. I'm just going to talk through them and then we'll go from there. Okay, so you will have your beef strips all chopped up finely. If you've marinated, perfect, but I just wanted to show people who hadn't got to that step yet. In this bowl I have corn flour, soy sauce and sesame oil, and what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put the beef strips in, mix them around, salt, a bit of salt and a bit of pepper, and in Chinese cooking you prefer to use white pepper. It's slightly more intense in flavour, but and also smoother. It's just what I've grown up with. So I'm going to put the beef strips into here, okay, and then I'm just going to mix it. So this is just our first step, and you want it all really well coated, okay, and then you're going to leave it to the side. So what the corn flour does here, it also gives it a layer and a barrier, but it also velvets the meat. I know it sounds a bit of a strange term, but in Chinese cooking we talk about velveting the meat, and whatever is in corn flour, it kind of tenderizes the meat but also protects it when you're frying it off, so therefore it keeps the moisture in the meat and it makes it super tasty. Okay, so you will be able to see that this is all nicely coated then. Hi, morning guys, I'm so sorry for the delay for the people who are just joining on there, but we've only just started because I had complete technical glitches. You know, this is the year that we're living in where everything goes wrong. So I'm going to put a little bit of salt, a pinch of salt, and I use white pepper as I said, so just a little shake. Perfect. And then we're just going to mix that all together. Okay, and we're just going to do great mix there. Okay, morning people, morning everybody. Right, super duper. So that's all mixed. We're going to keep this to the side then, and we're going to go on to the next task. So if you are eating it this early morning, and this is absolutely normal, obviously, being Chinese, I would have rice in the morning anyway, but you know, you can keep it for lunch and heat up rice or make rice later on, and I've got a good recipe and you can find that on the BBC website for my TV show that I had on the iPlayer called Suzie Lee's Home Cook Hero, so you'll be able to find it on the sweet and sour chicken recipe, how to make your perfect basmati fluffy rice. Okay, so the next stage is we are going to get our pot, a separate pot, not the wok or whatever. This, I have got the 500 mils of water. This is for your broccoli. What we're going to do is we're going to bring this up to the boil, and then we're going to pop in the broccoli. So we're literally just blanching the broccoli, but we're going to keep the water, okay? It's got great goodness in it with the broccoli, you know, obviously being cooked through. So we're going to use that as a thinner for the sauce. So I'm going to put this on the hob now. Once it comes to the boil, I will put the broccoli in. If I am talking too fast, let me know, because I talk very fast and I need to slow down. So if there's any questions, I will just flick through just in case people are asking. So anybody who's just watching, the recipe is on the Virtual Village Hall website, and then you can play this back because this will be saved and how to cook it, like pretty much a step-by-step then. So any questions there? Perfect. Yeah, very strong Northern Irish accent. So yes, who is that there? That was from Anya. Brilliant. Okay, so what we're going to do now is bring that to the boil, leave that sitting, and then in your frying pan or a wok. I use a wok because I have a gas hob and it's just really handy, and I've just learned and grown up with using one. So I'm going to put that on with some oil. And put that up to the highest heat, because you're now going to sear your beef. Okay, just a little bit of oil there, and we're going to heat that through. Okay, you can marinate your beef the night before, it is absolutely perfect, or the day before, and actually it'd make it even tastier, and that's what I would recommend. But just as you have at least 10 minutes, yes, I'm rushing through this now, but it will still be super tasty. I'm just going to heat this up, and we will do the batch of frying off the steak pieces. So literally we're going to fry this off, and then we're going to take it off literally a couple of minutes till it's slightly seared. We're going to put it off to the side, and then we're going to cook the onions, and then but not clean the pan. So for me, I don't like washing up, I just don't, so I try to use as little pans as I can, but also I try to not waste anything, so hence why I don't throw out the broccoli water. I don't use fresh water, then use something that's been flavoured already. And yes, it does freeze. However, the broccoli obviously will go slightly mushy when you take it out of the freezer again. But what I would do is take out the broccoli and leave the beef obviously in, and then when you're reheating it, cook a fresh batch of broccoli or other vegetables and toss it through, and it'll be super tasty. So this meat I was using was rump steak. I always use rump steak because it's actually cheap, and it is, let me say, it's a really versatile meat. You can cook it as a steak on its own, but you can chop it up for stews, for a stir fry, which is just perfect. There's just so many kind of variations that you can make with it. So I go with a rump steak because it's middle of the road, but it's still got really good flavour, and it cooks really well in loads of different ways, whether you're going to stew it and slow cook it or fry it for a steak. Okay, so my frying pan is now super hot, maybe too hot because I was talking too much. So I'm just going to let that cool down a bit, because otherwise you're not going to see me and you're just going to see smoke. So give me 1 second for this to cool down a bit. Okay, right, so this is searing hot, and I'm going to fry the beef off in batches. So apologies, it's going to be super loud, and I will tip my phone so you can see it slightly better, so bear with me. Okay. Just let you see. So here it is. I'm waiting for the water to boil for the broccoli. So we're just letting it literally colour on the side, and then we're going to flip them now. I'm going to flip them now. I do apologise if my phone goes for a wee walk, because I'll be sliding off my computer here. So literally minutes, like seconds, like that's it. That's enough for me if that's been cooked. I'm going to transfer it to a bowl, and then I'm going to put the next batch in. So for me, it's only 2 batches, but if you have a smaller frying pan, then it'll be more, but it's fine. Take your time. Okay, the second batch time, so I'll just show you what it looks like. So literally, it's just lovely, tender pieces of beef steak fried off. So last batch. Make sure they're nicely spread out. You don't want them completely crammed in on top of each other. Otherwise, they will just not cook very evenly, and you will get chewy bits, and we don't want that. So spread out the beef and let it get that initial sear, and then it doesn't, you know, stick then. So let it fry off, get that caramelization, and then toss it, because if you toss it too quickly, it has only just started to cook, so therefore it'll just stick to your pan, and you will be left with the meat kind of there on your frying pan, and it's just hard to get off, and it'll burn. So as you can hear, whole family are here because we love homeschooling, and just everybody's at home. It's madness. How's everybody else dealing with this? Yeah. I'm an accountant by trade, and I still am a chartered accountant and I do accounts every day. So this is nice to get a break away from my day-to-day stuff. So yet again, literally just coloured on the bottom side of it. I'm going to flip now. Okay, I'm going to now toss these into my wee bowl of beef. I cut to the side. Right. I'm going to put my pot of water onto my strongest hob because it's going to take forever otherwise. And then I can actually talk more to you guys. And if you have any questions, let me know. So yeah, so then I'm going to bring this to the boil and then we're going to put the broccoli in because we just want everything to cook at the right time. But yeah, it is Chinese New Year of the ox, and this I talk about this every year for my children in my children's nursery. So I have gone, well, I didn't go in this year actually. Yesterday I did another cook along for my 6-year-old son. He goes 1 day a week just so we can get work done. So I zoomed in for an hour and they cooked fried rice. And they were just trying to talk to me, and then I read them a story. It serves 2 people, so this is pretty much one steak you can buy from the supermarket or from your butcher. It's roughly about 250 grams. Yet again, don't be too caught up with the grammage of the meat or whatever, because you can bulk it with veg if you don't have enough. That's the thing. Like, make a stir fry suit you. So if you have more vegetables, wing those in. Don't worry that you don't have the meat. You know, a veggie stir fry is just as tasty. Or use chicken, or use prawns, use anything you have, and it will just, you know, the base of the sauce is there, and all you need to do is just add your other elements. So my water's got to the boil now. I am going to put my florets in. Okay, so literally till they're pretty much bland, so minutes. If you like them softer, obviously longer, but roughly about the 3 to 5 minute mark. You don't, well, I don't like mushy veg, but if you do, go for it, it's fine. But just do not throw away the water. So I'm going to also get another wee bowl just to catch my my broccoli florets once they're cooked, because I don't want them to keep cooking in the water. So the marinade for the steak, Joan, is there's the slices of rump beef steak, then there's soy sauce, sesame oil, corn flour. That is your key thing, corn flour, and that tenderizes meat, salt and pepper, and then you toss them all through and just let it sit for at least 10 minutes, and that in Chinese is called velveting. So that's what we need to do. So I'm just going to get a wee bowl for my broccoli, one I prepared earlier. So what you need next is your onions, sliced up onions, your ginger, your garlic, and half a stock cube. It's not diluted in any way because we're going to use the water that we're saving from the broccoli, and we're just going to crumble this in. It sounds a bit strange, but it makes it more intense, obviously, but just gives you that flavour, but also it can make your sauce stretch out further, you know, so you'll get it once you taste it. And then your key ingredient, your oyster sauce. With this, then you can buy it off the shelf. This obviously, well, you can actually get this in your big supermarkets, but I get it in my Asia supermarket. But there's loads of different brands. Oyster sauce is oyster sauce. I don't think there is obviously different varying tastes, obviously the quality, but you know, I've tried quite a few and they do the job. Then I've got more sesame oil because I just love that taste, and that's very, very Chinese kind of flavour. That's the soy sauce I use, but yet again, loads of different brands. You can use your supermarket one. It's cheap and cheerful, so go with that. And yet again, for sauces. In Chinese cooking, there is always a wee dish of corn flour and water. This is corn flour and water paste, and this is a sauce thickener. So think about normal day-to-day cooking. If we're making a sauce, we would use plain flour to thicken stuff. So this is just a different kind of way to thicken your sauce. So we would dissolve it in water, and corn flour sinks to the bottom. So once you're using it, you need to mix it first so it becomes pretty much a cloudy, murky, milky kind of looking water, and then you throw it into boiling water. Do not make this up with boiling water because it will then go lumpy. That's what you don't want. You need to start it with cold so it's nice and smooth, and then put it into boiling water, and you'll see it instantaneously thicken. So we'll do that and you'll see, you'll understand what I'm talking about. Okay, my broccoli is done now, so I am going to take them out. I really like crunchy veg, but also don't forget that you're going to be tossing this through in your oyster sauce when we're finishing cooking it, so we'll cook even further. So that's why I'm literally pretty much just blanching it. Okay, that's it. Lovely, steamed, well, cooked. Yet again, you can steam it as well. If you prefer steamed veg, you can do that, and then obviously then use fresh water. But not going to throw out my water. It is literally just sitting in the pot, and then we're ready to go on to the next step. So this is the super quick bit. So you need to keep your wits about you, have everything ready, prepped to go, and Chinese cooking is all about that. It's all about having everything prepped, and within minutes you have a meal. So that's why it is so fast to cook, and it's, yeah, it's just, prep is key. In anything, prep is key. So, and again, get the wok or the pan hot again, just a little bit of oil just to fry off your onions. So once that's hot, I'm going to add up my sliced onions. You can use cubed onions, and if you have frozen onions, use those, chopped up frozen onions. I have bags of those in the freezer because it cuts out time, especially if you had a busy day and you're trying to cook from scratch. I don't have time sometimes to chop it up, but also if you've bought loads of onions because they're cheap, I would chop them up and put them into little bags and have them ready as well. So you don't have to buy them. You know, some people are like, oh, that's expensive. I was like, no, I could chop them up myself. So same with ginger and garlic. You know, sometimes you don't use a whole bulb of garlic. Same with ginger. Chop them up, peel them, chop them up, and then you get little diced minced bits of ginger and garlic, and you put them into ice cubes, trays, and then you have them ready to go. So, you know, you're saving there as well, and time, okay? Okay, so I'm just literally frying off my onions in the lovely juices of, yes, do not clean your wok, because you wanted those lovely meat juices that came from your steak to sort of flavour the onions. Okay, my wok is super hot, so I'm going to use some of my broccoli water to soften the vegetables, well, soften the onions. Okay, so let that sweat down a bit. And you'll see that they'll start taking colour and they'll be caramelised. Yeah, oh, that's really good that you're going to start freezing them. Yeah, they freeze really well. Onions freeze super well, and you can just yeah, sorry, I just get so kind of caught up trying to cook. I used to be good at multitasking, but this whole new situation has got me fried. Completely head is fried. But anyway, so once your onions are really lovely and coloured like that, okay, that's it, ready to move on to the next stage. Okay, I am adding my ginger, my garlic, okay, crumble in, literally crumble in, and it seems a bit strange, but bear with me, crumble that in and start tossing that through. Getting in at this stage, if you think your pan is too hot, put some of the broccoli water in, like a splash, just to cool it down, and so the onions don't burn. Okay, you don't want burnt bits of onions or anything actually, and burnt garlic isn't a very nice taste either. Okay, so at this stage you should be able to smell the ginger and garlic, and that's what you want. You want in Chinese it's called bao hung, so you're making the aroma come alive, bao hung, so you're sort of like, yeah, bursting open the flavours of the ginger and garlic. Okay, so there you go. That's it, all lovely. Okay. Okay, so then now we're going to make the sauce element, because everything else then gets tossed in at the end. So we're going to go oyster sauce. Okay, so I do everything by eye. Go with the recipe I've given you, but it's up to your taste. If you like a stronger flavour, go with more. If you like it less, put less in. Also, there's a vegetarian oyster sauce you can get now. So all of this can be vegetarian. So you can be completely, you know, you can use corn, you can just use a veggie option, but there you go, that was the only pretty much meat element, you know, if you're thinking about it. So therefore you can actually make that veggie as well. You know, there's everything. There's just every kind of flavour and taste buds to cater for here. Okay, so once we've done that, we are then going to add in your cooking water. Okay, and this is really starting to bubble away. At this stage, I'm going to taste it, okay? You can take away salt, so that's why it's very, very crucial to taste as you go along. So, okay, for me, saltiness is perfect. I just need a little bit more white pepper, okay? Okay. Right, so at this stage, you may want a really more saucier kind of dish, therefore add more broccoli water. I kind of like it middle of the road. I don't like too much sauce because I just don't like my vegetables swimming in it and then going soggy. So all the same kind of thing. But I'm going to add more water so you can see what it's like, that it thickens, you know. So I'm going to do this and I'm going to show you what this looks like. So let me stir up my corn flour kind of mix here. That's water and corn flour. It's a thickener. So bear with me. I'm going to try to do this. So let me flip the screen. Okay, so there it is, right, boiling away. So very liquid. I am going to pour in some of this corn flour mix, right, and you should see it thicken, right. So you need to bring this to a boil, and then so it lowers in temperature with putting the new corn flour mix in, but now it's come back up to a rolling boil. As you can see, it is thickened. I'll do a little bit more so it's fine, so you can see, because I can add more broccoli water. But there you go, you can see it's completely changed in texture, consistency. It's nice and thick now, right? So then at this stage we just toss everything else in. Beef back in, give that a good stir. Okay, broccoli back in there. And I don't like waste, I think you can tell. I love these broccoli stalks. My kids love it too. I know it seems a bit, you know, people seem to throw that away. I would keep those also to make soups, but love the broccoli stalks. If you cut them really fine, they add a really lovely kind of texture to it. So there you go. That is pretty much it. I'm going to give it another little taste. Sorry about my dodgy camera work here. Right, I think that's pretty good. Now I'm going to switch it back. I am going to then, for a final flourish, just because I love that flavour, another drizzle of sesame oil. Okay. And that's it, guys, literally in minutes. So if I was on at 9:30 when I said it was, so apologies for the technical difficulties. This would have been done and dusted in, and without me talking, would have been done in about 15 minutes. But there you go. This is your beef, broccoli and oyster sauce, still sizzling away. Have it for your lunch, have it now if you feel like it. I probably will have it now because I haven't had my breakfast yet because I've been faffing around and rushing and obviously freaked out because I couldn't get on. But yeah, that's it, guys. And if there's any other questions, I'll stay on here for another little while. And if you need to ask me any questions, then I will chat away here. But yeah, so let me see, what was that about? Yeah, oh, thank you. Yes, it is pretty delicious, but as I said, you can make it your own. Make it your own. Use chicken, use pork, use prawns, use corn, just use veg. You know, it's a really easy sauce. Use that sauce, kind of the ingredients list there of your oyster sauce, your ginger, your garlic. Those are really key elements of Chinese cooking. And then just add in a little bit of soy if you want more of that intense umami flavour. So that's that salty flavour that people love. and then thicken it with your corn flour paste. That's it. That's how easy a stir fry sauce is to make. So, well, thank you. Yes, perfect for Valentine's, super easy. And then you can make, obviously, your rice, or you can have noodles with it. Do you know what I mean? Like, you can buy, you know, cook up noodles, or have the pre-made, there's the ready, you know, ready to cook ones. They're super handy, and toss them through. So yeah, no problem. I'm really happy that I could be part of this. Thank you so much for inviting me along, and I love talking about my Chinese culture. Obviously born and bred in Northern Ireland with a very strong accent, but love talking about my heritage and showing people how easy it is to cook, and like it's another healthy kind of option for people and cuisine to try. It's not just about fried kind of takeaway food. That's very westernized Chinese food. This is just your normal day-to-day cooking that I grew up with. Just super simple, really tasty, fresh flavors, and yeah, all very readily accessible from your greengrocers, your butchers, or your supermarkets, you know. So anything you want to do with that, make it your own, you know, just make it your own. So thanks very much, guys, and I will hopefully see you guys all very soon. Have a lovely day. And oh, just the sweet and sour, the rice recipe, the basmati rice, your perfect basmati rice, can be found on www.bbc.co.uk/Suzie Lee. And once you find that, you'll go into the chicken recipes and the sweet and sour, and there's obviously my TV show, my episode, where you'll see how to make the basmati rice. So you'll have perfect basmati rice, and then that can be converted into my perfect fried rice, which is in my egg episode. So check those out, and see you all very soon. See you later. Bye.